Hey guys, it's God Emperor here again, and today I'm back with a brand new Divine video game review. And with all the hot news and action in MMA these days, like Demetrius Johnson losing his belt, Conor McGregor finally getting scheduled to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, and other hot action, I thought it was a great time to go back and look at a classic MMA video game. And the game that I'm going to be doing today is a pioneer in every sense of the word. It features pioneers of the sport and is a pioneer of the MMA video game genre itself. I'm talking about Pride FC for the PlayStation 2. Now, as a lifelong martial artist, I've always been a hardcore MMA fan. And what some MMA fans may not be familiar with is the classic, old school, vintage organization known as Pride FC. Before the UFC became the #1 top MMA organization in the world, over in Japan, Pride was the #1 place for the best fighters in the world to test themselves. It was a place that featured rules that are still celebrated to this day, like stomps on the ground, head kicks on the ground, no elbows on the ground, and a different scoring system than what we see today in the UFC. This organization spawned legends and features some of the greatest fights of all time. Due to the Yakuza controlling things behind the scenes, this organization eventually had its fall and was bought out by the UFC, and I believe it was 2008. Before it went, it was definitely the favorite place for all fighters and fans to watch. First off, to get started, I like the music that this game had. Well, or at least the opening scene that features the classic Pride music, which is in this video right now. Although skill-wise compared to modern day competitors, they may be a little outdated, but for its time, this game had a decent selection of fighters, and it also had veterans and legends like Carlos Newton, Dan Henderson, Wanderlei Silva, and even Kazushi Sakuraba. And don't forget the Royce Gracies and the other Gracies. Well, this game is pretty fun, and it even features a classic Grand Prix mode where you can have a tournament, just like the famous tournaments that Pride held back in the day that produced legendary fights. Now I'll admit, due to this game being a little outdated and due to the sport being very early during the time that this game was released, some of the fighting in this game and the mechanics aren't that realistic. For example, on the ground you only have the options of mount and full guard and not side control. The game also features a health gauge, almost as if it was a 2D or 3D fighting game, and it doesn't go by just a knockout system as you'll see in the current modern UFC games, which is interesting, and some might actually be more fun. In a way, a lot of the fighters have their own unique fighting styles to showcase how they are in real life or how they used to be in their prime. Sakuraba has a high chance of pulling off submissions. Wanderlei Silva has good ground and pound and great knockout power. As stated, the fighting system is unrealistic, and unfortunately there is no one-punch knockout system. But guys like Ken Shamrock can stun you and pull off an instant submission off of such an occasion. If you're playing it, I'd say legends like Sakuraba, Dan Henderson, and Wanderlei Silva and Royce Gracie are definitely probably the best fighters in the game. But still, I'm pretty disappointed not to see legends like Fedor Emelianenko, who's considered the greatest fighter of this era. But I guess the game was pretty early, even before his time. All in all, Pride FC is a nostalgic blast from the past, and is a great tribute to the great fighters of old of the sport. It's a great MMA game if you're into collecting those. I give it an 8 out of 10. Till next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.